So folks, without wasting further time, we'll move ahead with what we have as the SEED program. First of all, thank you very much for the subscription that you've made already. I think most of the colleges we are kind of looking at right now who are on the chat are the ones who kind of expressed interest in knowing a little more around what the SEED program is all about. So this session is going to be more around what SEED kind of brings to the table and what questions that you might have around the same program. Okay. Is my screen visible? As all of us have kind of got an intro when you joined in, and for the folks who joined in later, Green Labs was kind of set up with the vision to go ahead and make a slight difference to the innovation ecosystem in our education institutions. Our idea was to partner and organizations and individuals in doing their R&D projects, organizations and individuals in their innovation initiatives, and in their incubation and entrepreneurial efforts. Over the years, we've worked with almost 5,000 plus students, worked with about 100 plus institutions, 200 plus projects, and about 20 plus MVPs that we've kind of helped grow into proper businesses. This journey kind of over a period of time got us to a point thinking that most of the colleges that we were working with were having a problem of how is it that they can have an impact on their overall ecosystem. Every college or every institution is having many programs that happen sporadically. They happen either due to initiation or they happen due to mandates from the government. But this compliance and these programs kind of go ahead and are not continuous in nature. And that's why we thought that we can probably look at a way of how we can introduce a platform which can probably aggregate as also connect some of these initiatives and therefore get a power of multiplication. So Innovation Hub, and we'll talk about this in future as we move through this, is basically that platform which will enable connections between students and a variety of people in this community, including corporates, venture capitalists, and experts, so that better quality research, college level projects, and entrepreneurial ventures can succeed, compete, and can get showcased to the right audiences. The first part of this is SEED, and SEED is basically a set of lectures, workshops, and competitions, which are going to complement what higher education institutions are doing. Now, the idea is to have an environment of innovation and entrepreneurship. There are lectures we are taking, there are programs we are taking, but there are certain types of things which is very difficult for us to take in the geography in which we stay. We may be in a very interior area. We may be in an area where the quality of students who are coming may not necessarily be the ones who can go ahead and make it through. We may not have access to guidance. We may not have access to a variety of things. And that's why SEED is a program where some of us as enthusiasts have come together and try to make it in a way where most of the organizations and institutions can take the benefit of the same while they do what they are doing. We've taken some inspiration from the IIC standards, the NAAC and the NBA standards. And from there, we've kind of created this program so that it also helps you meet the accreditation challenges that you are having. So more on the program now, and let's get into it. So what is SEED really made of? So SEED basically has got 3 sections to it. The first is a set of lectures. The second is a set of workshops. And the third is a set of environment creating activities. Now, when you subscribe to SEED, you're basically going to have about 12 power sessions, which are all sessions around various topics. You saw one session this morning. There are also certain other sessions which are going to be there. Okay. You're then going to have certain sessions on some contemporary subjects. Okay. These subjects could be around some contemporary problems that are there, which are being talked of, some buzzwords, or some sort of a thing that is now becoming very critical, like say digital marketing. It's been there for a while and people don't tend to understand it. Okay. But it is something that everybody needs to know. So some of these subjects, which are very critical for any enterprise, we've kind of made a list of them and we're kind of providing them as a session. Likewise, there are workshops. Now, what are these workshops? Now, these workshops are basically ones which are focused on 4 critical elements. Okay. The 4 critical elements that we have are, the first one being ideas and validation. So the biggest problem that engineering college students and faculty face is that they don't have access to ideas which can make it to the future. Be it your research work, be it the projects that we are doing in colleges. This session or this workshop is designed in a way where we are going to take ideas, but give many more ideas to the students so that they can work on industry problems. The expert panel we have is working in the industry. They know exactly what is required. It's a variety of people who are there from various types of industries. We have created an idea bank of more than 500 ideas across, I think, 20 sectors: defense, agri, dairy, education, hospitality, healthcare, oil, energy, waste management, clean energy, variety of subjects on which we've got things. And we've also got things on conventional arts, commerce, law, variety of social subjects as well, or social sciences subjects as well. And that idea bank is what we intend to go ahead and share with most of these students so that they can pick from those ideas and build their project ideas around the same. Now, these are not going to be exact ideas to the T, but these are arenas in which they can pick up certain things because we want to inculcate their ability to pick up the idea. So this workshop is a workshop which is more than an 8 to 10 hour workshop where ideas will be taken, ideas will be suggested, and we will go ahead and try to have a whole camp around validation. The next one is the R&D-a-thon. Okay? So this is again a 10 to 12 hour activity where we are going to go ahead and have your teams, almost about, depending on what subscription plan you have taken, 60 odd teams from your colleges, their representatives, first being briefed on how to go about figuring out a design and a research problem. They'll be taught. After they are taught, they will be given certain frameworks, and we will ask them to go ahead and under those frameworks, come back with their research and their design proposal. And the winner of the same, or the 2 winners or 5 winners per institution, depending on the subscription plan you have taken, will be gone ahead and then reviewed by an expert panel, and they will be then given out certain prizes or certifications. So it's a program where you're going to have a competition where certain problems around designs are going to be given out. You can come with your own design problems. A framework will be taught to you of how to go ahead and approach a design problem, and you will then go ahead and be selected and then finally reviewed in public with all the other students who have been selected from every institute, and that will lead to certain knowledge share. Likewise is the next one, which is business model canvas, where all those students who are interested in converting an idea to a business will be taught how a BMC needs to be written or attempted. After that, they will be asked as teams to create their own BMC for the idea that they have got. They will be reviewed. The top ones from there will be selected, depending on the subscription plan. If you've taken platinum plan 5, if you've taken silver plan 2, and gold plan then 3 teams. And they will be then reviewed and peer reviewed with all other participants so that they can all learn from each other, as also get inputs on what they can do with it. The last stage is a finale, and the finale is basically going to be it's going to have 2 tracks. It's going to be product development and it's going to be startups. And we are going to go ahead and have a virtual exhibition where products and prototypes developed by the institution students and startup ideas which are worked out by the institution students are going to be filed and sent over to us. There are going to be virtual videos and virtual sessions which they will record and send. They will be examined by a set of expert panels, and the expert panelists will pick up the top ones from it. The top ones are going to go ahead and be kept on a whole day program where they will present, and again, some panelists will review and try and pick out winners. So as you can imagine, whereas the power sessions, which are the lectures, are more like few hours of interaction and talking and more, I would say, monolocal, the workshops are going to be more interactive sessions where students will be given topics. They will be first pre-coached, then they will go ahead and attempt them. Best entries from there will be, all entries will be evaluated. Best will be picked up, and the best will then be reviewed together with everybody so that they can all learn from each other. The last one is environment creating activities. I think this comes more from IIC. They have picked up about 12 to 13 occasions in the country around which certain small events will take place. Either there will be poster making competitions, or there will be certain some type of programs which are going to ensure that the message of National Innovation Day is spread across to the entire campus. So we will go ahead and look at certain ways and means how small programs can be taken with every single college to do the same through this virtual meeting. Like I said, how they are going to be conducted, as you see, the 4 big programs that we're talking about, I've kind of documented that over here. The idea scouting and validation. Basically, it's a pitching idea event for ideas scouted. 30, 45, or 60 ideas will be pitched depending on the plan that you have subscribed to, silver, gold, or platinum. 2 to 5 ideas per department will be given out by experts. We will select about 2 to 3, 5 ideas from your institution, and they will be peer reviewed with all the other institutions together who are attending part of the session. So there is a lot of learning happening. Now, we all must keep in mind that when it is a one lecture talking, the learning may not be as high. But when there is someone being asked to do an assignment, and that assignment is then reviewed and checked, and a feedback is given, the amount of learning can be much more. And that is why these 4 sessions form the heart of this entire program. They're all 10 to 12 hour sessions, engaging a lot of students. The best part about learning is that when you hear other people's cases, your ability to learn and pick up subject knowledge is much higher. So we've designed them carefully, keeping in mind the times that we are in, such that we can, through an omni-channel way, reach out to you and be able to go ahead and give best value to our students and the educationists as a community. The same thing is there for R&D-a-thon. The same thing is there for Business Model Campus. Pretty much a similar thing is there in the product development and startup competition that happens. Now, what you will realize in this is that each of these programs have been designed in a way where each program caters to a pretty interesting set of age groups which are there. Okay, so let me tell you what are the 5 reasons why I should probably want to go ahead and take this up. Before that, one small correction, that there were certain questions which came into us during the survey that we sent out to you. How will these programs be channelized and worked? So here is how a typical program will be there. Any event that we are taking, be it a lecture, be it a power session, be it a workshop, will be preceded by some sort of expectations and inputs gathering from each of you. I think a lot of teams were sent out these forms. A lot of you have filled in and sent in what you were expecting of the session today. I've tried to put the subject in a way where all those questions are being answered. That expectation and inputs form is one in which you can tell us uniquely about what is the questions in your institute, what are the problems that you're facing, if there is any language related challenge that you've got, and those things can be kept in mind when we conduct the session. It will help you define your learning outcomes and your program objectives. Every event then happens and it gets preceded by a Q&A of 48 hours, where there's a 48-hour window available where you can go ahead and write personally to the person who's taking the session, and he or she will go ahead and answer the questions of those people in that 48-hour window. Once this is done, we will be sending out to you a form in which there is a form-based testing, where we are going to send a form which will have certain questions on what were the things that you picked up in the session, what are the things that you learned. You can summarize your learnings, you can answer certain questions, certain trivia around the presentation that was made. And based on that testing, we are going to go ahead and then give out certificates to the people who have participated. There are types of certificates. One of them is a participation certificate, and one of them is a certificate where if the person has really imbibed the things properly and responded to the answers much better, that can be a certificate of excellence that can be given out. So we will really want to make sure that these kids, whoever are attempting it, do the testing and then get that certificate from them. Each of the certificates will have a space where your institution's logo will also be there, so that you can make it a co-branded one, and it is like your institution giving out the certificate of honor to that student. Finally, this entire thing will get ended by a report that we will generate for your institution on the quality of participation of your institution. It will be a report which will be in the formats which are more like the accreditation requirements are, or better than that, which will have summary of the session, who attended, what were the scores, what were the questions that were asked, and it will summarize the entire session so that it is there very neatly available for documentation for you for the future. Now, here are some reasons which I think you must go ahead and look at SEED as a program and make it part of your strategy. Let's look at the very first one. As all of us know, last 5 years you've been seeing a lot of accreditation come through. Now, why is accreditation coming through? Education being a subject which was not necessarily governed centrally, and it was a little more concurrent in certain cases state, there was a dip in the quality of education that was faced. And I think unanimously everybody started feeling it, and therefore we have tried to now, or rather the governments across regimes are trying to bring in standards to be able to accredit whether an institution stands on its own on certain standards or not. These accreditations are becoming important by the day, because these accreditations are deciding whether you will get how many number of seats, whether you will get subsidies for some of the reserved seats, and it could also impact your overall intake. Which means this accreditation needs to be able to, and it is independent, it can't be biased, and that accreditation needs to be handled. Now, if you look at what are the criteria of accreditation, you will realize that there is a very strong correlation on the continuous programs that we are taking in SEED with what the accreditation guys are asking for. For example, if you look at NBA, if you look at NAC, if you look at Institution Innovation Council, almost 35% of the criteria in NBA, directly or somewhere or the other, caters through the programs that we are running, around the environment getting created, around exercises being done, around new ideas coming out, around any new competitions in which people are taking part, around subjects on which extra knowledge is being transferred. Maybe around any new designs or any new prototypes that the kids have developed, any startups that have developed, you will find criteria around all of them in NAC and in NBA. And because our overall thing is kind of more connected with IIC, sorry for the typo, almost 100% of the entire criteria of IIC kind of gets covered in this program. If you look at NAC and NBA, they always will be looking for a 2 to 3 or 5 year record. Now, for the folks who have gone through this ordeal of trying to sign up and actually pass through, you will realize that getting through with NAC or NBA, you can't just make up these things last day. And they go through accreditation of so many colleges that they can almost make out if something has been just done for documentary purposes or there's actually some meat in it or not. I've seen colleges scrambling to go ahead and find out, wo bache ne, that kid had done that thing, this fellow had done that design, can you get those documents now? Can we file it somehow? What the SEED program will ensure is that there is a systematic documentation and there is a continuous program which keeps pulling capability, giving programs to children and getting that capability out. As a result, you will never fall short of activity. You might have activities of your own which can fully complement what is happening out over here. We have given you flexible options to pick up depending on how active your college is, but we have given you certain very specific programs and with designs which can actually be reflected very well for this criteria. And it's a continuous program that will keep running across the year. If you will see the way it is in the brochure, every semester, every quarter, there are at least 3 to 5 activities which are happening. And we are kind of aligning as much to the government system and the demands that are out there. Let's look at what is the difference between the top rankers in these accreditation and the ones which are the lower rankers. You will realize one of the biggest things is that the college projects don't have any industry exposure. They are of low quality. The faculty research papers are not really solving problems of the industry or converting into consultancy assignments happening for industry. That's simple because the topics that are being taken are not being taken which are so relevant. And then there is a point when we are just trying to file for the sake of filing. You know, there were certain journals in which we were not conforming to standards. So people were filing there. So it is becoming more like abhi attendance lagana. You cannot handle these things with just an attendance attitude. I think even the researchers and the teachers are feeling bad about it. But we need to be able to give those ideas. Researchathon that we have got, idea validation, are places where faculty can also participate along with the students and actually pick ideas, as also go ahead and give ideas and validate them and create much better differentiated papers for themselves. Likewise, most of these things, because there is industry aligned with it, you can actually get certain exposure, which is much more relevant. So the quality of projects start to get better. Now, all of us have teachers have experience. Our seniors tell us, you are now in charge of IIS, you are in charge of EDP, you are in charge of EDC. We have a lecturing mandate of our own. Trust me, when we are doing this program, this has required almost about 10 people to be working for this program, even just for today as early as yesterday. With you doing your regular classes, with you doing your regular work, it is not possible to have a quality program that too continuously in your college. And that effort may not get understood by the higher authorities at times. They know it, but they're getting it done from you. But you all know that the quality is not getting delivered. This is exactly where we come in like a partner for you. When you partner with us, we can understand where is it that you are not able to make it and where we can come in and the program can then be picked. We've given you 3 menus. You can pick and choose depending on what type of program you want. And you should be in a position to pick one among the silver, gold, or the platinum plan. You will be in a position to get that help if you pick up the plan. most of the post-program documentation is third-party review. The testing is third-party. The certification is third-party. Now, there's a very big difference in getting a certificate when somebody else gives it to you versus getting it apna gharguti within your house. And it has merit. So you must understand that most of these programs, because they are common on a common platform, there are peers who are seeing it and they are kind of involved in giving you. We are comparing your work with some other college work, and therefore your chances of getting a more credible option is much higher. So the value of this tends to increase. Let's look at the other part of the problem. Now, there are many institutions who want to go ahead and take up grants and create an incubator. Folks, having connected with incubators and been looking at how they are functioning, what is the biggest problem in the incubator applications? You will realize that the biggest problem is all of them look the same. Why? Because every single college and institution has got an infrastructure to show. किसी के पास ज़्यादा अच्छा board room है, किसी के पास ज़्यादा अच्छी table है, किसी के पास ज़्यादा अच्छी lights हैं, somebody has got good computers, nice equipment to show. But equipment does not guarantee incubation. Equipment does not guarantee startups. It doesn't guarantee great projects. There are proposals of activity. There is no real activity. Look at most of the colleges who have landed up getting credible options for starting an incubator. They're just not proposals. They have credible activity. No third-party validated activity. Some programs done internally, morphed and shown in some way. This is the reason why the application falls weak. It's very easy to understand and see through that the college is trying to propose something. It may not have anything. If you want to go ahead and seriously look at creating an incubator within your institution, you should start activities. And that's exactly where we come in. If we can partner with each other, this program can be that activity center around which you can complement more activities, and therefore you can create a nerve center where things are happening to propose or make a better proposition for an incubator. Now imagine a college in Odisha. Imagine a college in rural agriculture in Odisha. Somebody in Jammu Kashmir looking at agriculture. We have some folks here today. Look at somebody in Assam and Meghalaya. How will you get quality industry connections? You will have to go digital. And this is something that through our program you can achieve. That we will be able to connect up with these people. At the end of the day, the professors or the teachers who are teaching have a circle of influence. They may not have a full influence circle. That's why certain external help can probably help. Finally, alumni. Most colleges don't have a connection with their alumni anymore. Now, this program in its next phases, and I'll talk about it when we come to that stage, has programs around how we can connect with alumni and stay connected with what they are doing, thereby be able to go ahead and generate better. A question that gets asked, Chalo, suppose I have an incubator. What is the biggest challenge that running an incubator poses? The biggest problem for running an incubator is that they do not get access to ready quality applicants. Most incubators are not getting supply from their local arena. They were created for local arena. They are getting more supply from virtual corners for virtual incubation from other cities. Now, initially it looks very nice. I'm getting a lot of applications from here and there. But the connect with the local ecosystem has to be drawn. And that connect with the local ecosystem will need programs. This program, if incubators can align with, can become the flagship program for you to hunt for all these kids who are in various colleges and can help them actually come over and then achieve the incubation that is required. So that essential missing gap of connecting the college activity with the incubator can happen. So even if you created an incubator and you do not have any activities running, such programs will help you because you will get view into all the ideas and things that are happening in many colleges. There are several grants to be taken, 1.5 crores, half a crore, 5 crores, 30 crores. I mean, there is huge amount of grants that are there. Colleges are good at being able to go ahead and get them. But what is the big breaker here? It is lack of credible third-party validated activity. It is lack of industry connect. And this program can become that ally of yours. We have this NISP policy which is being proposed. You know, it is 75% activity if you look at the agenda. Now let's look at what a professor or a teacher goes through. Look at the several research grants that are available for us. There are many available. But what's the problem? The quality of idea is not there. Connection with the corporate is not there. Now, when will a connection with the corporate take place? When you are going to be able to take something relevant, right? Researchathon, idea validation are programs where we can get those things. And maybe with the Innovation Hub platform coming in later, this can be showcased as well. And it might help us actually get much more traction. So even when it is coming to creating credible proposals to be able to get things, these college projects worked in partnership with somebody external can make a huge difference. How have we designed this program? Typically, the first year students who are novices, they have all this orientation and ideas and more of lectures. As we go forward, you will find that there are other workshops which come in for the second year students. In the third year students, probably second, third year students, typically they're looking for avenues. So there are more around product design, more around converting it to a business model. And in the final year, it's more about the final products. It's more about a competition. It's more about a startup pitching event and things like that. In 1 year's time, we can cover through this program all the 4 types of students you have. Folks, without making a stretch, I can guarantee that if there is enough of input and activity you can bring in from your side, we will be able to easily produce about 5 credible, ready startups in your institution. We should be able to create at least 5 good product designs coming out of our institutions. Obviously, depending on the plan that you've taken, platinum, gold, or silver, we will be in a position to go ahead and create a line of students who are having ideas and proposals which can actually fructify and become either great product designs, or they could actually become very, very good startups. And that potential exists. It's just that they are not getting the kind of knowledge transfer and exposure that is required. The amount of learning that a student in Chhattisgarh will make when he connects with a student in Chennai, the amount of learning a student in Chennai will make when he connects with a whiz kid in Bangalore, the amount of learning that a Rajasthan student will get when he looks at a business idea from a kid in Gujarat on this platform, because we will be reviewing it peer to peer. Everyone's ideas are open. You can go and attend and you can hear it out. I guarantee you the quantum of quality of education available to these kids and exposure will be next to anything that you can think of. That value of multiplication will be immense. So please do think about how this can be made to good use at your end. Yes, we've thought about how we can have winners. We are thinking about 10-day product development workshops, 10-day startup development workshops. We will figure out how they can be incentivized as a result of whatever these programs are, and thereby give them certain other programs going forward. But at the moment, that's not part of the plan here. This is just what can be done. If we come back to what's the kind of pricing that we are looking at, I think I'm just going to cover up very quickly. I put up a slide. We have a silver, gold, and a platinum plan. The intake is 30 students, 45 students, and 60 students. There are about 8 events you can choose from a bouquet. There are 12 events per annum you can choose from a bouquet. There are about 20 events per annum that you can choose that are there already. The pricing is about 48,000 Indian rupees for a whole year of subscription, 60,000 in the gold plan, and 90,000 for the platinum plan. These are exclusive of GST. All of these are the ways in which you can go ahead and pick up which plan you want. Some of the other things here is that some of these intakes are looking as 30, 45, 60, but they actually multiply. I will come to that later. But this slide is just for everybody to see so that you are clear on the plan. All this is already there in the brochure that I've shared with you guys. Quickly running to the next part. So what is it that we are doing? Well, frankly, if I try to put a value proposition, here's where it is. The silver plan has almost a 30 intake. Gold plan is about 45, platinum has about 60. We are typically going to invest and give you exposure of about 45 to 55 hours in the silver plan, about 70 to 80 hours in a year for the gold plan, and about 120 plus hours of exposure in the platinum plan. This is going to be for your institution because your teams are logging in and are going to be recipients of the same thing. The entire program has been designed keeping in mind that one institution alone, if it has to invest this much of time, the money that they will have to spend is going to be very, very high. And that's why we've tried to bring it into some realm where it is an affordable program, as also something which gives you the access, thankfully using the whole digital medium and using the same. The typically cost per hour for you from an investment point of view will be about 750 to 850 per hour. And if you divide it by the number of students, you can imagine the number goes down drastically. Three things to keep in mind. The R&D-a-thon, the BMC, and the finale are going to be where a representative from that team will come over to us, which means there could be a 4 or 5 member team behind. And that team would probably go ahead and benefit from the knowledge of that representative. So the impact may be multiplied. So you may actually smartly be able to utilize this thing to be able to take the impact to almost about, if 30 students are there, to almost about 120 students. And if about 60 students are there, the impact can go to many more students. What are our plans going forward? Well, frankly, when we are going forward as Innovation Hub, probably somewhere in the middle of next year, we are going to go ahead and have a 10 to 15 day product development workshop. We're going to be having a workshop which is on startup development. This will be for those students from your colleges who win and do well in this. We will collaborate with you to go ahead and have them on board, and we will come out with how that can be done. There will be advisory for incubators, the ones who want to go ahead and have incubators created. We have access to a lot of people, and we can come out with programs where certain people who have experienced this can actually advise you and do more. We're going to open up a lot of this to students. So today, colleges are coming in with a certain set of students. There are many places where colleges are still not ready, and there maybe we will open this up for students. So you will get entries which could be actually coming from maybe just one corner of the country, having few students who are wanting to participate. So this is going to get open to students. Also, these programs have got certain intake limitations. So there could be many more students who want to participate. So we will be getting in those students and giving them entry via a different channel where students can come in and be part of the program. This is going to be interconnected across colleges with certain rules of keeping things secure, where they can kind of share what sort of research and documentation is happening across the board. This will ensure that you do not repeat what has already been done, or you add value to what has already been done and learn from what has happened before. Today, our project kids do not have access to any library of what projects have been done in our college or other institutions. And this might help a lot. Okay. Obviously, when there is going to be activity, we are going to be looking out for corporates. Any organizations, be it an incubator or a college, who wants to sponsor an event and want to make sure that they are seen more, they can always approach us, and we will have certain plans for the same. This platform will extend up to managing the entire innovation ecosystem within your institution. So right from project filing to communication to project assessment, scoring, third-party validation, report creation, events, competitions, all of this will happen on an exclusive platform dedicated to your college only. Now, this is what's planned next. We will bring this out and we will then bring it over. But the precursor to all these things is a subscription here. So all I want to say is that there are quite a few things planned here, but all of those benefits will only roll in provided we can go ahead and be part of this program and then take it forward. Finally, here is something more of the screenshots of what is going to come through and what the platform will look like. I think I just have one question, and we can now open it for any questions that you might have. You can send it over to Purti over chat, or you can send it over email on the email and the number that Purti is putting up. What is the process of subscription? So I think you can pay by any digital instrument except crypto and cash to the bank account. Certain details of a one-pager document will be shared with you in this week after the session is over. And any questions that you might have around this process, maybe you want to ask. If you go onto the Innovation Hub website, you can go ahead and look up the questions in the FAQ section. I think that's where you will get a lot of answers. This last part of the video, which we have just done, which has been recorded, will be given to you so that you can take it to the decision makers in your institutions, and they can go through all the steps of the program and they can understand the facets much better. I understand that some of the college participants said that it is difficult to explain to the authorities, what can you do? And a document may not be good enough. So this entire last video, which has been taken, the second session, we will be supplying this video to you on a link, and you can then take it to your other decision makers and thereby enable their decision making. Okay. Finally, for all the folks who have joined in today, this entire program that we are going to be running, okay, will have a sort of because we're going to be taking it to all these institutions, we are going to go ahead and make a sort of an offer to everybody. The subscription is high, and we want to go ahead and make sure we are completely prepared for the same, because we'll have to open independent tracks of the same program, parallel tracks for different colleges. All colleges can't come in one track. We can't absorb more than X number of colleges in one track. So what we are trying to do is try to get a demand estimation till the 3rd of January all the folks who can go ahead and register, okay, we will be going ahead and offering a 15% net annual discount on the numbers. So anybody who can go ahead and confirm their payout registration by the 3rd of January for us to plan better, this is an offer that we will be making, and you will get a communication around the same over email. The programs will start commencing from the 2nd week of January. I think in our brochure, we have mentioned 8th Jan, but I think they will phase differ by about a week. So we will be just waiting for you to go ahead and subscribe as quickly. All the institutions who can go ahead and subscribe by 3rd, our offer is on the table. And for the rest of them, you know the numbers. We look forward to the maximum subscription and making that difference with our kids and doing more. Any questions? It's up for the taking now.